We all dream of living a better life, right? But often we feel stuck because we think that change requires drastic actions and huge sacrifices or a complete overhaul of our routines. But what if I told you that real, lasting change doesn't have to be overwhelming? What if the key to transforming your life lies in the smallest actions? Habits so tiny they're almost invisible. In this video, I'm going to show you how to harness the power of small habits to create big changes in your life. And trust me, this isn't just theory. I have done it myself, and I am really excited to share exactly how. Now, if you have watched me here on YouTube before, then welcome back, of course. But if you are new to my channel, then welcome. I'm Dr. Kim Foster, and I'm an MD turned coach and wellness expert. And today I have got 5 steps to share with you that will help you to completely change your life with small habits. Before we dive into step 1, I just want to quickly mention my new vlog channel that I very recently started with my husband. Over there, we are sharing a behind the scenes look at our life as we balance work and travel and family while creating a bi-continental lifestyle between Canada and the UK. So if you are interested in seeing how we apply everything I talk about on this channel in real life, like wellness routines and healthy habits, along with some tips on living a more adventurous and fulfilling life, then definitely check it out. We would love to have you join us on our journey. Okay, that said, let's dive into changing your life with small habits. The first step is don't underestimate the power of small habits. So let's start with what small habits are and why they are so powerful. So a small habit is just that. It's a tiny, repeatable action that you can do consistently. Think of it like planting a seed. In the beginning, it's just a small action. It's barely noticeable, but over time, with consistency, it grows into something much bigger. Now, there's actual science behind this. Our brains are wired to form habits through a loop of cue, routine, and reward. Once a habit is formed, it becomes automatic, and that requires much less effort to maintain. And that's why small habits are so powerful. They sneak into our routines and start making a difference without us even realizing it. Now, here's where it gets exciting. Small habits can trigger a domino effect, which leads to much bigger changes over time. Now, many years ago, I knew I needed to make some really big life changes, but I was completely overwhelmed. It was 2012, and I had recently read the book Happier by Tal Ben-Shahar, who's a Harvard professor who taught a super popular course at Harvard on positive psychology. And in his book, he emphasized the importance of incorporating small positive habits into your daily life to improve your overall happiness and well-being. So I started with just one small habit, beginning every day by writing in my journal for 10 or 15 minutes. That small action, it didn't really seem like much, but it set the tone for the rest of my day. Because I started each day by doing something that anchored me, that cleared my head and it shifted my mindset from focusing on stress and problems and just running around without any structure or purpose to my day to a mindset of focus and gratitude and purpose. And I found it much easier to make the right choices when I needed to. And I began to pay more attention to how I was feeling and what I was thinking, even in the most stressful moments. And that allowed me to make better decisions and to set clearer goals. Over time, this one tiny habit snowballed into practicing better self-care and improved productivity and feeling the confidence that allowed me to make some really hard decisions that ultimately led to a much more fulfilling and meaningful life. What started as a 10-minute ritual turned into a complete lifestyle change. Okay, so let's move on to the next step, which is to identify your high impact habits. So how do you do this? How do you find the right small habits for you? So I want you to start by thinking about your bigger goals and what you truly want to achieve. Is your aim to get healthier or be more productive or feel happier or perhaps reduce the stress in your life? Whatever your goals are, break them down into the smallest, most actionable steps possible. And the key here is to start simple. So simple that it feels almost effortless. For me, it was my journaling ritual. I found that, of course, just spending a few minutes each morning writing down my thoughts and my goals and some gratitude, it really set a positive tone for my entire day. It was a tiny habit that aligned perfectly with my larger goals of clarity and mindfulness. For you, it could be something entirely different, but equally small, like maybe starting your day with a glass of water to hydrate and set a healthy tone for the day. Or maybe reading just one page of a book before bed to wind down and cultivate a reading habit. Or maybe meditating for just 2 minutes each day to bring some calm into your routine. Or maybe taking a quick 5-minute walk to clear your mind and to start getting moving. The trick is to focus on habits that are not only really easy to do, but also closely connected to your larger goals and values. They should fit seamlessly into your daily routine without feeling like a burden. And here's a powerful tip that can really amplify your results. Adopt the 1% rule. This means aiming to improve by just 1% each day. It might sound like nothing, but these tiny incremental improvements add up and compound over time, which leads to massive growth. Just like compound interest in finance, your tiny habit change will grow exponentially, turning into a significant transformation that might surprise you in the long run. Now, if you need a bit more help with coming up with some ideas for your own tiny habits to start with, then you might be interested in downloading my free Ultimate Morning Routines menu. It's a PDF that I put together that includes a comprehensive list of morning routine activity ideas. And all the activities are categorized into either body, mind, or spirit to help you to choose activities for a well-rounded start to your day. And there is lots of inspiration for tiny habits that you can begin to incorporate into your lifestyle. The link for that PDF is in the description below. Okay, so moving on to step number 3, which is to think big, but start small. Once you've identified your small habits, it's time to put them into action. But the key here is to start tiny. Again, so tiny that it feels almost effortless and it's practically impossible to say no. So the goal is to eliminate any resistance or excuses that might stop you from following through. For example, if you want to start exercising, don't set a goal of an hour-long workout at the gym right away. Instead, start with something as simple as just like a 5-minute routine of stretching in your living room or a short walk around the block. The idea is to make the habit so small that you can do it even on your busiest or least motivated days. Another powerful technique to make your small habits stick is habit stacking. This concept was coined by S.J. Scott in his book called Habit Stacking, 97 Small Life Changes That Take 5 Minutes or Less, and it was published in 2014. In this book, he outlines the idea of creating routines by linking small habits together into a sequence, which makes it much easier to adopt new habits by attaching them to existing ones. So to use this idea, it's just a matter of attaching your new habit to an existing routine that you already do automatically. For example, when I wanted to make journaling a consistent part of my morning routine, I stacked it onto having my morning coffee. So every time I brewed my coffee, it became a cue to pull out my journal and start writing. And then over time, it became just so automatic that I didn't even think about it. It was just, a natural extension of my coffee ritual. You can apply this to any habit. If you want to start meditating, do it right after brushing your teeth. If you want to read more, read one page right after getting into bed. Stacking new habits onto existing ones makes them much easier to remember and integrate into your day. To keep yourself on track and to build momentum with your tiny habit, I want you to consider using a habit tracker or a simple journal to record your progress. There is just something incredibly motivating about seeing those small wins add up day after day. It doesn't have to be complicated. You can use a paper calendar, a digital app, or even a simple checklist. The important thing is to celebrate each day that you complete your habit, no matter how small it seems. Over time, those check marks or streaks are going to become a powerful visual reminder of your progress and your commitment, and they help to build the consistency that leads to long-term success. Okay, let's move on to step 4, which is to overcome setbacks and stay on track. So let's be real, setbacks happen to everyone. Maybe you miss a day or two, and that is perfectly okay. However, our brains are naturally wired for perfectionism and all or nothing thinking, which often leads us to believe that if we can't do something perfectly, it's not worth doing at all. And this mindset can trigger a cycle of guilt and shame and making it really easy to throw in the towel at the first sign of a slip up. But the truth is, perfectionism is the enemy of progress. If you aim for perfection, you are just setting yourself up for disappointment because life is messy and unpredictable. What's important is not to let these setbacks derail you entirely. Remember, progress over perfection. It's not about doing everything flawlessly. It's about doing your best consistently, even if that means starting over again and again. If you slip up, don't dwell on it. Just get back on track the next day. No guilt, no shame, just keep moving forward. Another reason our brains tend to give up is that we often associate missing a habit with failure. And this triggers a defeatist mindset where it feels easier to just give up entirely than to continue with an imperfect streak. Our brains just love patterns and routines. And when that routine is broken, it's tempting to just abandon the whole effort. But instead of seeing a missed day as a failure, view it as just a normal part of the process. Every day is a new opportunity to try again. This kind of shift in mindset can really help you to maintain your habits in the long run, even if you're not perfect every day. To help combat this tendency to give up, it's incredibly beneficial to have an accountability partner or community. When I'm helping my clients to start their own small habits, I often encourage them to share their progress with a friend or join a supportive group. This external accountability can be a powerful motivator because you're not just committing to yourself, you're also committing to somebody else. When you share your wins, no matter how small, and you receive encouragement from others, that can really help to keep you motivated. Plus, when you celebrate your small wins together, it just reinforces the positive behaviors and makes the journey much more enjoyable. Speaking of which, don't forget to reward yourself for sticking with your habits. Our brains are wired to seek rewards, and celebrating small victories can significantly reinforce your new habits. It could be treating yourself to something that you enjoy, like a favorite snack or a relaxing activity, or simply taking a moment to acknowledge your progress. Either way, these rewards create a positive feedback loop. They signal to your brain that sticking with this habit is worthwhile and satisfying, which boosts your motivation to keep going. Over time, these small rewards help to build the consistency that you will need to turn your tiny habits into lasting transformative changes. Okay, so that brings us to the fifth and final step, which is to take action today. So now you know the power of small habits and how they can lead to big changes. The final step is to take action. Start today. Pick one small habit that resonates with you and commit to it. Remember, it doesn't have to be perfect, just consistent. Whether it's drinking a glass of water in the morning or reading one page of a book or doing a 2-minute meditation, start small and let those small wins build over time. And here's another challenge for you. Comment below with the small habit that you are going to start today. Let's build a community of support and encouragement as we all work on creating big changes through tiny habits. Remember, life-changing transformation doesn't require massive effort all at once. It's the small, consistent actions, those tiny micro habits that shape our lives in the long run. And if you do want some additional help designing a simple and powerful morning routine that starts with just 1 or 2 simple small habits, then go ahead and download my free Ultimate Morning Routines menu. As I said, the link is in the description below. And again, if you're interested in getting a glimpse of how I apply all of this stuff in my daily life, along with a behind-the-scenes look at my routines and my travels together with my husband, then I would love it if you would go ahead and check out our brand new vlog channel. If you enjoyed this video, I think that you are going to love the one that I am linking right up here, where I tell you about the 6 common habits that will keep you stuck in life and how to avoid making those mistakes. I will see you there. I knew I was going to do that sooner or later. I recorded the entire thing, but did not press record on the audio. So that really sucks. Okay, I am Dr. Kim Foster and I'm an MD turned wellness coach. Nope. That's not what I want to say.